Hello friends, in last video we talked about word trace. You know that when we have to read something, word trace as well as sentence trace both are very important there. In word trace we have given emphasis on the syllables. But now, when we think about sentence trace, definitely we have to think about the sentence trace. So we will think, what is the definition? Sentence trace is accent on certain words within a sentence. Sentence trace is accent on certain word within a sentence. It means that you know that how sentences are formed. Sentence always form with some words. Particular words comes together and it definitely convey a particular meaning. But you know that every word is not important in a sentence. Some words are very important in a sentence and those words are trace. So in short, we can say that some words are important in sentence. Words are important in a sentence. Not every word, some words are important in a sentence. And we can say that sentence is a combination of some trace and untraced word. Sentence is a combination of some trace and some untraced word. Sentence is a combination of some words, some trace word and some untraced word. Trace and untraced word. For example, we will take one example. For example, she went to cinema. Went to cinema. This is a sentence. It consists 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 words. But every word is not important here. The word like went and word like cinema, these both words are very important. And so these words are trace. So we are giving the trace on it. Went, cinema. So friends, remember one thing, that went and cinema are traced word, and see and to are untraced. went and cinema, both words are very important, so they are traced there. And see and to, these are untraced words, these are not important words. We'll take one more example. He parked his car in the yard. So word like park, car, yard. Park, car, yard. These are the trace words. So trace is given them. Three words are important there: park, car, and yard. So these are the trace word, and remaining such as he, his, in, the, these are untraced words. Parked, car, and yard. These are trace, and he, his, and in, and the, untrace. Three words are traced and remaining three words are untraced there. Okay, so how one should read the sentence here? She went to cinema. She went to cinema. She went to cinema. So went and cinema both are traced. So when we produce the sound, we have to trace it forcefully, louder and longer. Pronunciation of these trace words takes longer time. In the second sentence, he parked his car in the yard. He parked his car in the yard. He parked his car in the yard. So park, car and yard, these are traced forcefully. And so that is one important thing, that sentence trace is a magic of spoken. Sentence trace is a magic in sentence trace is a magic in spoken English. In spoken English, and definitely that gives rhythm. Gives rhythm and beat. Important thing is that when we have the trace syllables and untraced syllable has another word also, that is weak syllable. Okay, when we trace untraced syllable as well as the traced syllable in a sentence, it makes or it maintains the rhythm or the beat. It has some rhythm when we maintain all these things there. So remember it when we speak out these sentences, definitely untraced words and traced word maintain the rhythm or beat. She went to cinema. She went to cinema. So went and cinema maintains the rhythm, and other words are untraced, other words are weak. So remember one, that trace word trace words are pronounced more loudly, more forcefully, more loudly, more forcefully, more longer, more longer, and definitely takes more time to produce. Trace word always takes more time when we produce the sound. So untraced word, untraced words are always, we can say that the weak trace. There is a weak trace on that particular word. So untraced and traced word always maintain the rhythm. We can say that trace is about the contrast. Trace is about the contrast between traced syllable and untraced syllable. Traced syllable and untraced syllable, there is always contrast between both, and contrast makes the rhythm. Contrast makes rhythm, or we can say beat in a sentence. That is important thing here. So untraced word and traced word always maintain the contrast between both. So a rhythm of sentences depend on the number of trace and number of untraced word or untraced syllable between the sentence or in a sentence. A rhythm of sentence is always based on traced syllables and untraced syllables in a sentence. That is important thing. So normally we can say which words are traced and which words are not traced. So we will think about the normally traced words. Which are those normally? Which words are normally traced there? It's noun, main verb, adjective, adverb, adjective, adverbs, demonstrations, demonstratives, WH words, WH question words we can say. WH question words, and one more is negative particles. Negative particles. These are the traced, normally traced word in a sentence. So when we read a sentence, remember it well that these are the function of words which is always traced in a sentence. So which are normally untraced words. So normally traced word has another, it is also called the contain word. Normally untraced word These words are called the grammar or structural word. Grammar or structural words. So which are those? Articles, prepositions, article, prepositions, then conjunctions, helping verbs, we can call them as in auxiliary verbs, and possessive adjectives. So friend, this is very important part, that when you try to read a sentence, remember that you have to find out which words are there which should not be traced at all. These are in a weak forms. So these are articles, preposition, conjunction, helping verbs, possessive adjective. These are the words which cannot be pronounced in a sentence. So one more thing that I would like to tell you, that how trace, if we change the trace, how the meaning is changed. It means that changing meaning, changing trace changes meaning. Changing trace changes meaning. We will have one example here. Okay. For example, are you happy? Question mark is there. In the sentence, are is important there. I am giving the trace on every word, but when the trace is changed from first to second or second to third, definitely meaning is changed there. For example, I am tracing first syllable here, first word is here, or, so remaining two words are untraced. My emphasis is on whether your answer is yes or no. I want the answer yes or no. When the trace is given on are you happy? Are you happy? So are is traced there, and I require the only answer yes or no. When I trace the second word, U is important here. U is important here. So what is the expected answer from this one? What is the actually meaning of this sentence? It means that other persons are happy, no doubt. I want whether you are happy or not. Other persons are happy. I want whether you are happy or not. So you is important there. And in the first sentence, I want only the answer yes or no. You is not important in the first sentence. And in the last one, the word happy is important here. So what would be the answer? What I expect on tracing on the last word? It means that I want whether what kind of state of mind you have now, whether you are sad, happy, or angry, or somewhere else, something else. So what is the state of mind now? That is important part here. So if I changes the trace word, the meaning is changed. It shows all these examples that when you change the tracing word, definitely the meaning is changed there. So remember one thing, that again we will think over it, that when there is a sentence remember that a sentence stays in accent on certain words within a sentence. We are talking about only one sentence, and we know that every sentence is not important there. Some sentences are important there. Some words are important there. So important words always traces, and the remaining words are called untraced word or weak words. So trace word always have the forceful voice, louder voice. It takes more time to pronounce. But especially in case of untraced words, or untraced word has another name, weak words, they are spoken very fastly and without having trace on it. So these are called untraced word or weak words. And now we thought that which words are traced in a sentence, which words should not be traced in a sentence. And definitely tracing the words in a sentence and untracing the words in a sentence makes a sentence rhythmatic. It has some music when we have the trace words and untraced words. So in word trace, syllable is important, and in sentence trace, words are important there. So that you should think over it very keenly and try to understand what would be the difference between both. So friends, I think that this is enough for sentence trace. So we thought about the word trace as well as the sentence trace. So try to understand all this concept. If you have any kind of doubt, any kind of question, query, just comment in the comment box, like the video, share it and subscribe it. Thank you.